Hello there, welcome to a tyke farming in the Philippines. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, ding-a-ling ding dong the bell. It's Sunday morning, getting up to 7 o'clock. No men on site yet, they'll be getting on for 7:30 before they come in. I've decided I will make a video today. So the video after this clip will be good morning again, Sunday, a little bit earlier, but no ding dong. I put the ding dong bit in, it will go in front of it. I had a comment yesterday, I haven't seen it yet. I will hopefully this afternoon get round to answering comments. And the comment was, can I explain why this Sari shop is successful while many Sari shops aren't? So I'll try and answer that question because it's quite an interesting question, and I don't pretend I've got the answer to it, but I can give you my thoughts and what I've done, what I've put in place to give us the best chance. Because I know there's a lot of people who come to the Philippines and they open a Sari shop. Every Filipino wants a Sari shop, and I've no doubt a lot of them are successful. But on YouTube you tend to hear all the time the negative ones, you know, bad news sells and good news doesn't. So everybody has the impression, I think, that all Sari shops will fail and there'll be a drain on finances. That's obviously not true. Nothing's that black and white in life. So I'll try and tell you what I, with the help of Jean, I've put in place to make it successful. But there's no guarantees. You can say we're lucky if you want. You do the best you can and prepare as well as you can, and that's a gamble. You don't know until you open the shop whether you're going to make any money out of it. Like the piggery, you can plan and do the best you can, but you don't know until you actually get pigs in and you start to sell them. So I'll leave this video there, and I'll sort that out when I come back from City Hardware. Hello there, it's Sunday morning, just turned 6:30. No workmen on site at the moment, there'll be 2 coming in later on. We've just had the fellow in who bought the pig yesterday at about 6 o'clock, 5:45. So he came in, I sorted the pig out for him, and they loaded it on the motorbike. But the pig he bought, he wanted the brown one, but he didn't have enough money for it. So he took another one, a little bit lighter, a little bit cheaper. But when he came in this morning, he must have got some more money. So he bought a lump of yesterday's pig, the rib, 7 kilos. So Jean's had a good sale in the shop already, 7 kilos of pork. So it's an eventful day already. I don't think there'll be much more going on today. I'll do a video later on when the concrete's poured, and if anything else happens. If not, then I'll add this video on to Monday's video. I'm not expecting anything else to happen today. I'm going down City Hardware, providing I can get the banks are online again. Providing I can get some money, I'll go down City Hardware and get some bits and pieces. And then that's all I've got to do today as far as I know. So we'll get back to you shortly. Right, we're back again. Now the question was in the comments, why is our Sari shop successful when so many fail? Now, the perception is, if you watch YouTube channels, that all these Sari shops fail, or the vast majority of them. That may or may not be true. I'm sure there's thousands of Sari shops out there in the Philippines what do well, with a Western man and a Filipino partner running the shop. You've got to bear in mind with YouTube, it's like newspapers. Bad news sells in newspapers, and it's possibly the same with likes and views on YouTube. So real life is a little bit different than YouTube, but you know, YouTube's entertaining and you can get a lot of insight off YouTube. You know, I watch a lot of YouTube, for example. But I met an American fella maybe 3 weeks ago now in Danao, and you know, we said hello, and he's ex-military. He's a younger fella, maybe 55, on a military pension, I would imagine, which allows him to retire in the Philippines at such a young age, and with a basket full of shopping, and he said, you got a Sari shop? And I said, yeah. And he says, I've set up a Sari shop for my partner 3 times, and each time it's gone belly up. He says, never again, three's enough and no more. And you get a lot of stories like that. Now, I don't have a magic formula. I can just tell you what my opinion is and what I've done, together with what Jean's done. Jean's contributed to that Sari shop more than what I have, because she runs it, she does the buying, I let her get on with it. I put parameters in place, but basically the success is Jean's. It has took us a bit by surprise how successful it is, and it's consistently successful in such a short period of time. But the main reason I think a lot of these stores fail is you get a foreign man comes here, and a lot of foreign men want a very young partner, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26 possibly. And they expect too much of them. At that age, yeah, they're adults, but they've no life experience, or a lot of them. Some will have, obviously, but most of them have very little life experience. They're still dreaming, they're still chasing fairy tales at that age. I remember when I was 18, 19, I thought I was a man. It wasn't until I reached the age of 30 I realised I was still a child. But you know, when you're young, you think you're all grown up and everything, but in reality you're not. Now with Jean, for example, she's worked in the factory for 10 years, and different other jobs as well, but the same factory for 10 years. So she's got some life experience. She had, the family had a bad experience. Oh no, I'll go into that a little later. Now the thing with these young women is, they've all got extended families here. Jean's family is, there's only 2 siblings, three children in her family. But a father's family and a mother's family, there's a lot more children. She's got 100 cousins, very large extended families. Now, if a relative, Filipinos don't like to say no. That's why they'll say maybe very often. If they've got a large extended family and they're only young women of 22, say, and they find it difficult to say no, and with such a large extended family, if they come to the shop and they're wanting credit or something for nothing, or they're hungry, they've no food, that young woman's out on a limb. Without the support of the Western man, it's an impossible situation to put her in. It's not the young woman's fault particularly, because that's the culture here. Now, Jean needs support of me, but not as much as what a 20-year-old young woman would need. So it's no surprise to me that a lot of these Sari shops fail. Like the American guy I was talking to, 3 times he's set it up and 3 times it's failed. Enough's enough, I would imagine. That, so they need an awful lot of support. Now the other thing with extended families, and in Jean's case, they had a bad experience which I won't go into with one of their aunties, and they lost their house. Well, the auntie wanted to sell the land, and the only way they could sell the land was to be hard on other members of the extended family. But I won't go into that anymore. So Jean has got life experience with extended families, and it's not all good. But me and Jean have talked about this, and she still finds it hard to say no, and she can't say no. So that's where I come in. She'll pop through the back and so-and-so wants this credit and pay next week or whatever. And I'll say, well, it's up to you. You have to decide these things. But you don't have to say yes. You can say, I can't. Don't say no, I can't. He'll get grumpy on me. Put the blame on me. No, I can't because he won't allow it. Always put the blame on me. And that's working well, because Jean isn't a fool. Jean can make the decision whether she lets them have something to pay tomorrow. There's no credit in this shop as such. The people working here, they can get things here and pay on payday. we allowed, Jean asked me, the farm behind us, behind me now, next door, he wanted credit, and he's a bit of a wrong'un, is a fella there, in my opinion. And I said, yes, give him some credit. And Jean said no. And then he explained why. Now, we had a bit of disagreement over this boundary between the two properties when they were here last time. So he's run up 3,000 pesos worth of debt. He was going to pay last week. He's going to pay this week. I don't care whether he pays or not. I've got him now by the short and curlies because he owes me money, and he can't argue with me anymore until I get this fence completed along this boundary line. I'm prepared to forego 3,000 pesos just to keep him quiet. So whether we'll get that money, Jean cares. Jean wants it. She's asking him now, chasing him for it. I don't care. I've got what I want, again, the bloody boundary fencing. But that's another story. So that, you know, if you're going to be successful with the Sari shop, the Filipino lady needs a lot of support. Ongoing support. Talk to them all the time. Now I'll turn the camera around and I'll go outside for the next bit. Now, the other thing what was mentioned was location. Now, most of the people up this mountain, if you turn left at the bottom of the road, they live up, there's a basketball court and different facilities up there. Now, there are people live up the mountain this way. I'm surprised there's so many actually. But there's a house down there, I don't know if you can see the roof. But there's no obvious houses around here. On the main road, well, calling it main road, there's a few houses. Over the back there's a few houses. Back of the farm there I think there's 1 or 2 houses. But there's not a lot of houses. So, we're doing well. I'm not going to give you figures, but we're doing very well. So it's not so much location, and when you think about it, all the families here have a motorbike, and they just pop on the motorbike to go where they want to be. And so we're off the main road, but we're dragging in customers, and we're dragging in customers from up the main part over here where the basketball court is. With no problem with customers. Where the ceiling is on the trade in this shop, I don't know. We're selling now much more than what I expected. Now, there's other things to take into account. Not everybody's the same by any amount of means. But that post there, if you can see it, is the boundary of this land. And we put that post in to start the fence down that boundary. And when the council people came round with the plans, doing the plans, they said, oh, there's a 2-metre easement. So you can't build the fence to that post. And the fellow working for us at the time didn't know about the easement. So we had the second post in here. And I said, well, bother about the 2 metre easement, make it 3 metres onto that post, and we'll have a 3 metre easement all the way up. Because at that stage we weren't planning a Sari shop, but we thought it was a possibility, or in my mind it was a possibility. So we've got a 3 metre easement, and I thought at the time that will give us parking if we open this Sari shop. And I expected people to, you know, bit of concrete here, park the motorbike, go to the shop, get back on the motorbike, and away they go. But as soon as we got that concreting sorted out at the front, it didn't quite work like that after 2 or 3 days. The first couple of days, they parked the bike on the road because the concrete was new. They weren't sure if they could drive on the concrete or not. But after a couple of days, it's turned into a drive-through. They come up on the motorbike, they drive to the counter, order what they want, and then they drive off. So that's working very well, and that's something where, if you're thinking of a Sari shop, to bear in mind. Access. Make it easy for people to stop. And the other thing I've done here, which is not done normally, but you know, I'm a sort of person who thinks about things. Bottles of water, they're heavy. You'll see people walking up with the road with one on the shoulder, but mostly you'll see a motorbike with one in front of them, on the scooter type of motorbike, a bottle of water on the front. Now all the other Sari shops here, if you want a bottle of water, you bring your empty bottle, you take the lid off, and they decant that bottle into their empty one. And I said to Jim, we'll buy a load of bottles, and all you've got to do is you give them a bottle and they give you an empty one, and they take our bottle away. Oh, you can't do that, they're our bottles. I said, yeah, we can. And the first couple of people who came for a water bottle, and we said, put your empty there and just take whichever one you want. They said, no, we can't, because ours is an old bottle, yours are new. I said, tell them they can take it, just swap it. And a couple then came back 2 days later, I've returned your bottle, and they wanted the old one back. I said, well, we haven't got the old one, it's out somewhere else. But it didn't take them long to get used to it. So now they come in, they bring an empty, they take a full bottle away. I don't have to lift the bloody things, or anybody else has to lift them. They just take a bottle and leave it empty. It's a logical way to do it. But it's a first for these people. So think of things to make life easier for yourself and the customer. Now they come here for the water bottles through choice, because it's easy for them. They don't have to pick the full bottle up and tip it into their own bottle. A lot easier. The other thing, well, the other two things I think I could talk about a little bit. The appearance of the Sari shop. Now, one round the corner, not being critical, the side of the house or the shop is attached to a tree which is still growing. So to get to their window, you've got to climb over tree roots, and then a very tiny little window, maybe 12-inch square. Now that's got iron matting across the front, because Jean wasn't comfortable with anything else. I would have said, no, you put the shutters up and it's completely open so you can see in everything you've got. But no, she wasn't comfortable with that. So, but at least I put in 2 hatches, which are 18-inch by 24-inch eyes, something like that. So you're not completely cut off to the customers. And you know, things, you know, common sense things like being polite and pleasant with people. If you're not pleasant and polite, they go elsewhere, as we all would. And then I think the final thing I could say is the appearance of the shop inside. It's clean and well lit. We've got a display freezer which doesn't really, the display part of it doesn't really lend much to the shop at the moment, but it will do, because people don't come and, it's not on display. A box freezer, chest freezer would do the same purpose at the moment, but eventually it will be used as a display freezer. And the bottle fridge, I got the largest one I could, and it's fully stocked, because you sell a lot of cold drinks here with the climate. And the shop itself has to be well stocked. It's no good coming, they want 5 items and you've only got 3, and then they have to go round the corner to another one to get the other 2 items. So it needs to be well stocked. And stuff like the bread just above Gillian's head, here if you don't sell it, you can return it. You've got to keep that fresh, you've got to turn it over quickly. If you run out of bread, that's not a bad thing, as long as it turns over quickly, so you're not selling a poor product. Now, originally I put 100,000 pesos into that shop in stock. I would think now there's probably 300,000 pesos of stock in that shop, but I haven't put any more money into it. It's restocked itself on takings. In fact, I've taken 20,000 pesos out of that shop, so it only owes me 80,000 pesos now, not 100. And over the coming weeks, because my budget is running out, it will run out probably September, October time. I'm looking for that Sari shop and the piggery, profits from the piggery, to keep the construction going. And I think we might achieve that. I have a lot of work to do in the piggery. Once I get it cleaned out and emptied, I'll get grow a couple of gilts out, and hopefully get the half decent semen and breed his own pigs, and then it'd be a closed shed. The biggest risk I've run down there up to now, quarantine wise, is importing water over the last few weeks. Now the water's sorted out now. I need the construction down the bottom end finished so I can get all the rubbish out of that bloody piggery, and then I can tighten up security, quarantine wise, and minimise the risk, so that we can be productive, get routines going in that shed. So we're doing the same thing every day, and then you're not relying on people who barely speak English to tell them things, and it's not understood. Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent now. It was a question about the Sari shop. So I think I've answered it best I can. It is my opinion. Other people have different opinions. But hopefully if you're looking to open a Sari shop, there'll be something in there of interest. Yeah, there's one important thing I didn't mention about the Sari shop. Important in my opinion. Here the Sari shops, the bigger ones will go to the shopping malls and the large store in Danau, and they'll buy what they need, and also on the markets, and they'll put a markup on it. And then the smaller Sari shops will go to the larger Sari shops, buy it off them, and then they'll put a markup on it. And that might happen 3 times. So the prices in the Sari shops are all over the place. Now, my first order I put with a distributor from Nestle, thinking I'll buy it by the box and I'll get the best price. But they work the same way. You get a distributor who'll sell to another distributor, and their prices are all over the place. So what we do, we shop around a little bit at the 2 shopping malls in Danau mostly. There's a large shop in Danau, a large warehouse type of shop, and we'll shop around them 3 and get the fact, if you can save 2 pesos on an item, that's where we'll buy it. And we also shop in the market, and we sell a bit of vegetables and a bit of dried, well, quite a lot of dried fish actually, which we buy on the market. And then we get it back, and we put a percentage markup on it. Now, most things in this shop we're getting 30% at. There's 1 or 2 exceptions, and there's 1 or 2 items we get more than 30% on. Now, 30% is a very, very good profit margin. On cans of food, for example, you don't get that margin in the West. So we work on a percentage profit margin. We add that percentage on, and that's the price we sell it for. And as it happens, because I would work on a low profit margin if need be, that puts us at a price point lower than most of the other Sari shops. There's 1 or 2 exceptions like rice and grits. With purposely purposely keeping them prices down as a loss leader, and with 4 and 6 and 8 pesos a kilo cheaper on them items. Another one is cooking oil. We buy that off the market in Danau because that's the cheapest place, and we keep that at less than 30% as well. We're still getting 20%, and beer and cigarettes is less. They're about 20%. Maybe cigarettes is only 15%. But overall, we will be getting 30%, or very close to it. So that's a point bearing in mind if anybody thinking of opening a Sari shop. It's worked for us working on a percentage of the cost of the price we pay, add 30%, and it's working well. So that's maybe a good point for you. It's 5 o'clock, so to make a closing video, we've got all these 3 panels poured today, so I'm quite happy about that. The shuttering will come off tomorrow, and we'll move up out the way of the drillers if they come in tomorrow. Not for certain they're coming in. There's no panic for him now. He was up here the other day, 2 days ago, further up the mountain. That's where his next job is. He'll be moving the drill from here up the road. And I think he was going to Leyte again. He gets all over the place. So he might be in tomorrow, he might not, I don't know. So the pigs are all cleaned out. Hopefully not the one with the little piglets in. They're all fed. No, the one with the little piglets in the pen's dry. I don't want them on wet concrete. It's too cold for them. What I should do is get another heat lamp, which I will do. I'll need 2 heat lamps for them nursery pens. But it's like everything else, we've got to get round to it. I'm hoping to spend tomorrow down in the piggery. I have a few little jobs I want to do, maintaining things, sorting some hose pipes out and putting new nozzles on. And then need to sort these high pressure lines out. So hopefully I'll get that done tomorrow. Yeah, everything looks fine. So I'll leave this video there. I didn't expect to make a full video today, but I have done. And we'll do it all again tomorrow. Over the way, they've got the chickens in for eggs now. So they'll be producing eggs shortly. I think there's 10,000 birds in the big shed at the end for meat. So we'll end it there, and we'll see you again tomorrow.